Hi there, I'm Fiona Keary, and this is the gorgeous Christy Gooden, and we are from Style Liberation. We are really excited to share with you that the doors to our online program, the Style Transformation, are now open until the 4th of September. The Style Transformation is the only online program that delivers you three super quick wins to help you create a wardrobe full of outfits that you absolutely love without having to start from scratch. And over the next few days, we're going to share with you some of the stories from our style transformers that have gone through this style transformation journey, just so you can see how they've been able to use the tools of the style transformation to get some really great wins in their wardrobe. So, Christy, today we're going to kick off with Melissa. Tell us a little bit about Melissa.
She was actually a really fun style transformer fee because she came to us as she works full time. She's also a very talented sewer, so very, very creative, and in fact is an influencer for a fabric company. So she actually really knew a lot about color, works with color all the time. I think she even says it looks like colors thrown up in her wardrobe, not afraid of color. So thought essentially, well, I'm pretty good with all things style, but I bet you there's a few new little tricks there are to learn. She's absolutely right. She came out of the process having a great understanding of all things style, personality, color, and body shape. For her, she discovered she was a cool clear, lovely triangle, a combination style personality of creative, relaxed, natural, and classic. So let's hear a little bit about Melissa's style transformation journey. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about your style transformation journey. Before we get into that wonderful thing we call style profile theory, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I have worked in many different creative industries over the years. Currently working in medical, which is a real change. Lots of rules and regulation, which is not usually my jam. But I also do some creative things on the side and do lots of my own sewing of garments as well as helping promote other businesses with fabric, etc. Yeah.
And you work with a lot of color. You yourself came into this process, didn't you, with already quite a clear mindset about where your style's at? Is that right?
Yeah, I think pretty much my style hasn't really changed very much throughout the years. I think I'm a little bit stuck in the 80s. I
Nothing
still
wrong with that.
I still like my big oversized dresses and lots of color and print and anything that's fun. I think fashion should be fun. So yeah.
So in terms of that, being quite clear about that and not afraid of that sort of thing, I guess we're really interested today to hear about what then drew you to the style transformation process.
So for me, because I do love color, I think I have a wardrobe that is pretty well full of color. So it looks like someone has vomited color in my wardrobe. But what I was finding was I was probably I was as I've gotten older, I was probably tending to go more for pastel colors because I had noticed that my skin tone had changed, over the years, and I think it's a privilege to be aging. But I think so I was kind of going more down the sort of soft, warm, muted color tones, which I don't know. I just was feeling kind of like a little bit invisible. And yeah, I mean, I felt okay, but it just didn't feel kind of like as good and vibrant and, as true to myself as I think I could have been feeling.
And so that would be what you'd considered what you were struggling with at the time in terms of establishing, and I guess it's how were you feeling when you wore those colors, when you were sort
Oh,
of
look,
shopping?
yeah. I felt, I felt very pretty and I felt very feminine and I felt very girly. And I think that is part of how I like to dress. But I think, the kind of edgy, groovy, hip kind of look at me stuff was probably a little bit falling by the wayside. So I think it was just trying to kind of bring the two together and sort of marry all those kind of different personalities. and how you want to be viewed by the world, I guess, and you know, how other people sort of perceive you. Yeah.
And what did we learn, Melissa, through the style transformation process in terms of what is your style profile theory? What did we discover?
So my style profile theory is predominantly creative, not a big surprise.
Right?
With a little bit of feminine and classic thrown in, which I kind of think now, as I've gone through the process, is probably getting towards that more edgy, a little bit dramatic kind of face. Yeah, and with color theory, certainly I am a cool clear. So I've really been trying to you know, be my 14-year-old self who used to wear all the jewel tones. She really knew what she was doing, and somehow she's lost her way. So I think, you know, coming back to finding those things, I just feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, big aha moment. This feels like me. You know, this feels right.
Absolutely. And that does lead us on to that. Your three sort of biggest takeaways from the process. Again, understanding that when you came into this process, you had quite a lot of knowledge in your sewing and your use of color and print and things like that. But in terms of us going through style, personality, color palette, body shape, wardrobe, and shopping, understanding there's quite a lot of strategy in that. What were your sort of three biggest takeaways in those 5 steps?
For me, I think the style personality was a massive aha moment. And the fact that I think it really is the number one thing that underpins every other choice that you make. So I think that in itself, and being able to consciously realize why you make those subconscious decisions, I think for me that was a huge one, both in that style personality, but also in color as well. You know, and print and things too. You know, you kind of, I think it was just that thing for me to have that clarity about the consciousness of why I do things, and that understanding about, you know, why I make those choices that I make. And I think for me too, you know, as a promoting someone's fabric business, you know, I really wanted to step up my styling game. And for me, because I love all the creative aspect of the styling, I really wanted to kind of treat myself as my own client, I guess, and really, you know, go, okay, you know, what are you comfortable with, and what can we kind of like maybe push the boundaries with a little bit, and really take for me that kind of styling up to the next level by understanding my style personality, but also my color palette. And I think, you know, as a woman in her 50s, I think it's so important that we don't lose sight of ourselves. You know, I think, you know, we're just as important as anyone else. And I think it's just so nice to feel so confident and so good about yourself, because then you could just, you know, pass it on through to everyone else. So that was my 3 aha moments.
And that's an amazing power to get as a woman in their 50s to absolutely dress for you.
Yes.
Be confident what you're wearing, not having to rely on sort of that external to justify those choices. And talking about style personality, Melissa, you were saying that was one of your biggest ahas. And through the process, how did you find style personality impacts on all other aspects of style?
I just think you know, it's funny because I think when I originally started, you know, I remember posting one of my favorite dresses that I've just made, that I won a sewing competition. I got this beautiful linen fabric, and you know, the colors may be just on the verge of maybe not quite being cool clear, but you know, with this green jumper underneath it, I can make it work.
Yes.
And I remember, you know, and I remember just, you know, and it's a really oversized and it's a triangle shaped dress, but I love it, and I feel comfortable in it. And I mean, I know it's probably not in line with what you know, the silhouettes that we talk about in the style transformation are. But for me, it doesn't matter, because it's, you know, and I think that's the thing, is the style personality trumps everything else. And as a creative, I love wearing that dress. I feel really confident in it. People always comment on that dress because it's kind of really out there and kind of a little bit wacky, you know, but I just feel really good in it. So I'm still going to keep wearing
Yes, there might be a little bit of rebellious creeping in there too, Melissa.
Possibly. Who knows?
But it is that you're very right in that style personality trumps everything. As we say, you can't actually cheat with style personality. You can cheat with color by, changing things up. You can alter garments. You can make them slightly different in your case because you can sew. But if it's not right in terms of style personality, things get purchased, not in your case, fabric gets made, brought and made into, if you're not 100% comfortable in it, it will remain unworn in your wardrobe. So that power and that mindfulness you were talking about, being really conscious about what you're bringing into your wardrobe. How did that has it impacted, I suppose, understanding your body architecture, things like that? Has it impacted on the sorts of garments you're attracted to or the shapes and things like that, do you think?
I think the shapes and things are pretty well still the same as they were. But I think another, realization for me was because I'm quite tall, I'm about 5'7", 5'8". And I've always wondered why when I make a garment and a dress, I always have to add length to the bottom half, but not the top half. Aha moment, I've got a raised waist. So my sewing, I can use a bodice of a normal regular size. I just have to add some length. And I always wondered why. And then I was like, right, now I know.
Okay. And that's actually, it's interesting, isn't it? It's like you can have all the expertise to do these things, but really understanding why. So then you can repeat those successes and
correct,
avoid the mistakes later down the track as well.
Yes.
So how, I suppose, you used to probably get a lot of compliments anyway because you love color and things like that. But in terms of, since you've done the process, have you found people noticing different things about your style since you've completed the process?
I think the difference would be instead of them going, wow, I love your earrings, or wow, I love your shoes, they actually say, wow, you look amazing. It's not the one, the standout element. It's the whole kind of outfit and the way you put together with your hair and your makeup and your lipstick and your earrings and the accessories and everything else. So I think it's more about that you as a whole rather than just like a bunch of garments or accessories. I think yeah.
And so when you were talking about that, the first thing I thought of is cohesion.
Yes.
In terms of it's a full, more sure look. And I suppose on that, in interpreting your style personality, how did you find that our style personality translator in helping you sort of narrow down and really get the detail behind certain choices you make?
Yeah, look, I found that really useful. And especially I think sometimes people forget about hair and makeup and, and those kind of things. And I think a lot of women will be, sort of wearing the same hairstyle they did in their 20s or their 30s, and they really haven't updated that. And I think sometimes those kind of things can really let down an entire look. So I think, having the style translator to really knuckle down, is my makeup. I would say my makeup's probably a little more it's probably more conservative. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I really like a bright lip. So I would probably more classic. Yeah. And I think, over the years I've had pink hair and I've had white hair and you name it, I've probably done it. But I really have, stuff. And so again, I think my hair's reasonably, it's not too out there. It's pretty sort of classic. So I think, knowing that there are those elements that you have about yourself, but you can always change those things too.
And they do change, don't they?
They do change.
Hearing you talk about how you've had different hair, but now you're sort of settling into that more classic look. Something we do talk to our style transformers about, understanding that you might want to revisit these things. They're not static things. They change according to lifestyle, according to the work you do, that sort of thing. So interesting to hear that you found that changes. You kind of let the clothes and the print and the color. And that, would you find the color element where you sort of dipping into that creative, dramatic?
Oh, 100%. And definitely with prints and things too. Yeah. And I think even some of the kooky styles I bought, I mean, I went and spent a huge amount of money on a very expensive jeans. Shh, don't tell my partner.
You know,
And which I'm actually wearing.
I'll never begrudge you a good pair of jeans,
Oh,
Melissa.
which I am wearing now, and and it was the most expensive item of clothing I think I've ever bought. The doctor I actually work for shops there, so anyway,
Yes, they know.
and she knows fashion.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think it's just knowing that that I've forgotten where I was going now.
Being certain in the things you purchase.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, so, just knowing that there are those kind of things and that you can sort of, have some kind of kooky. I mean, I don't like wearing the same as everyone else. I always try and have a little bit of a twist or, be a bit more individual, because being like everyone else, I find a bit boring and a bit tedious, and I don't really
Like
want to
a
be.
true creative.
Yeah, so I want to wear something that's a little bit different and a bit kooky, and that's where I feel comfortable. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely have loved talking to you. As I said, different take on the rationale behind coming in style transformation, but great to hear that there's still something that you can pull from, even if you're very experienced in the style stakes, still something you can pull from the style transformation process. Is there anything you would say to our audience or people who might be considering style transformation? Anything you would say to sort of get them over to make that decision?
Look, I think, a few things. Do your research. When I was in one of my fabric groups and someone said, has anyone had their color done before? And I was like, you know what? I kind of always thought about doing that, but never actually gone there. And I think, so I jumped onto the website and I did my research, and I'm like, these guys look like they know what they're doing. I was quite drawn to Fiona's creative style and the way she puts herself together. I watched the snippets of the other ladies promoting the next style transformation who had actually done the course. And I think I watched a few of the little videos you put together, and there was one in particular that was about print clash, which of course I was very drawn to.
Yes.
So for me, I think that was really the thing that I went, well, okay, I can kind of learn the basics, but then there is also these other elements for me that are of interest that I can probably do better or have fun with, because I hadn't really gone down that path before.
That's fantastic. Well, as I said, Melissa, thank you so much for talking to us today. And thanks for telling us about your style transformation journey.
My pleasure. Excellent.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing your style transformation journey. Christy, there was so many ahas and things that Melissa took away, but there was a couple of key ones that we wanted to chat about now.
Absolutely. And we love all things style personality fee, and that we know is step number one in the style transformation. It absolutely underpins every other decision we will make in terms of our personal style. As we were saying earlier, Melissa actually thought she had a really clear understanding of that, but her biggest aha moment was to discover the different elements of style personality, and that we're actually a combination of two or three. In the style transformation, we worked with clients to understand all of their different style personalities and how they come into play when it comes to choosing color, elements, different finishing touches, everything to do with your style. We help you understand how to translate that. And the beautiful thing for Melissa is that she's re-embraced those bright, pure, gorgeous colors that she always sort of instinctively knew suited her, but was moving away from. So she's re-embraced those because she now understands that her style personality, color, is where that beautiful creative flair sits really comfortably.
And I did love that she said, my 14-year-old self knew. And that's what we say. Instinctively, we know, but sometimes we absolutely do love our way. And I hear her. It was exactly the same for me. I lost my way when it came to color. If I think about what I loved as a child, and then you go through these phases of, oh, well, this is what's expected of me now, or I'm becoming ageless and wiser and I shouldn't be wearing those colors anymore. So I absolutely love that. So thanks again, Melissa. So we'd love to tell you more about what you can find inside the Style Transformation. So just a reminder that the Style Transformation is the only online program that gives you a personalized style profile. You don't have to try and work out what your colors are. You don't have to try and work out what your body shape is or your style personalities. We actually give you the tools to do that. Plus, we actually do a color analysis for you, personalized, and your body shape and architecture for you. So it's no guesswork. We take all the guesswork out of that for you and deliver it straight to you as 3 quick wins. So you get the style personality assessment, but more importantly, as we've talked before, we help you translate your style personality so that you know exactly what you're looking for in terms of the structure or the print and pattern, the colors that you're going to be attracted to, what's going to work for you hairstyle wise, shoes and accessories, how to find those pieces in the wild or even in your wardrobe so that you don't have to start from scratch. We give you a personalized My Private Stylist program, which gives you every cuff, every collar, every neckline, earring drop, bag size, belt type that is going to be right for you based on your measurements and proportions. We also do a virtual color analysis for you. So we do lots of staring at your gorgeous face to determine the best range of colors that are going to be perfect for you. Not only will you get a color palette that will make your eyes glow, your skin sparkle, although that might be the other way around, your hair look shiny,
anyway,
all of exactly all of those things. But the real benefit of working off a color palette is then everything in your wardrobe is going to mix and match. When you work from a color palette, all of the colors blend together harmoniously. So you get that personalized for you. 150 plus colors that are perfect for you, available on your iPad or your phone anytime. Plus, you also get access to our 5-part video course. Now, this is for people who really want to dive into the detail. So we have lots of videos that you can consume in 5 or 10-minute slots that all pull together to give you that support to implement the theory that you have. You've got access to that forever. Plus, we also have cheat sheets on your body shape for color palettes, comprehensive color guide, plus lifestyle analysis worksheets so you can see where you should be spending most of your clothing accessories budget, for example. We also have a shopping for success strategy too. So if you're someone who hates shopping, we have made it so much easier for you. We'll show you the tips and tricks that we use with our clients when we shop in person or online with them every single day to make shopping so much easier so that you come home with absolute winners. Plus, if you're someone who, you like to travel or go away for the weekend, or you just want to streamline your wardrobe, we give you the step-by-step guide to creating a capsule wardrobe or wardrobe clusters so that you can travel lighter, pack more efficiently, or have a wardrobe where you can see everything and do so much more with less. Then we also have a couple of bonuses. We have the trend translator. So this is where Christy weaves and waves her magic wand and pulls together all the items that, pulls together all the trends that are happening for spring summer 23 and then shows you what's right for you based on your style profile, which is your style personality, color palette, and also your body shape. This makes sure that you're not going out and getting one-hit wonders. And there is a trend for every single style profile. And the beauty of it is when you work with your style profile, it's not a one-hit wonder trend at all, is it, Christy?
Absolutely not. It's right for you and will work into the future too.
Yes, because that's where we get scared when it doesn't work into the future for you. The other thing that we do is we also run live style clinics, which are recorded if you can't make it live, so you can watch it back at any time. We answer your style stuck questions. So if you're not sure about something that's come up in your theory or you've got some questions, you just submit your question in advance. We weave our magic again, answer those questions. And if you can't make it live, you can just pop into our portal, search for your name, and the answer will come up for you. Even if you are not going to ask a question, this is super, super valuable because someone else is probably asking a question that you hadn't even thought of, but go, that information is gold. So really, really handy when it comes to that. And then we've also got our wonderful style transformation community. We have members in there who did the style transformation last round in March, or last year in September, or 2 or 3 years ago, who are really, really practiced at their theory. So they are in there to support you, answer your questions, help you on your style transformation journey. And so are Christy and I. We just don't give you the tools and toddle off. We are in that group for the next 9 weeks, supporting you to make sure that you've got the tools and then how to implement them to create that wardrobe full of outfits that you absolutely love. So, how does the style transformation work? You get 3 quick wins. You submit your photos and your questionnaires, and you will come away with your style personality assessment, your virtual color analysis, and also your virtual body architecture analysis too. You'll get access to the style transformation 5-part video series, plus you'll have questions answered in the style clinics in the Facebook group as well. So there's all that ongoing support for you for those 9 weeks. So how much? If you were to work one-to-one with a stylist in person or work one-to-one with us, you're looking at nearly $2,000, but the style transformation is $799 and it's valued at $3,492. If you'd like to join us for the style transformation, and we would love to invite you to join us for the style transformation, just pop on over to thestyletransformation.com. The doors are only open until Monday night at 10 p.m, Monday the 4th of September, because we kick off on Wednesday, bringing the whole group along together to support each other. Now, we do actually have 2 payment options. We have a 3 monthly payment option of $299 a month for 3 months, or you can pay in full and save $98 for $799. Now, if you do join us and after 14 days you decide, you know what, this isn't for me, and that's absolutely fine. Just email us, call us, send us a text, let us know, no questions asked, and we will refund your course fee. We would love you to join us for the style transformation. We know that we've helped hundreds and hundreds of women create wardrobes full of outfits that they absolutely love, just like Kat, Melissa, and Elaine. And to join us today, it's either $299 for 3 monthly payments or pay in full for $799. To join us, pop on over to thestyletransformation.com, and we can't wait to see you in the group.